Marty here along with my good friend Ken Brown, and we are your hosts of Local Sports Wrap-Up. Today is the 28th of October, 2024, if you don't remember the year. And Ken, I know you're running around today with some pitching lessons. How's the week going?
Nah, man, it's great. And happy birthday.
Oh, why thank you.
Yeah.
65 years old.
Gotta be.
2 days ago.
Wow.
I'm Medicare eligible.
Yeah, you're definitely the coolest 65-year-old I know.
Oh, you know how to get into my heart, don't you?
Yeah. Got you all hot and bothered. Anyway. But no, man, happy birthday. Great weekend. It's tight ends weekend yesterday.
Tight ends weekend yesterday. If you were a gambler and you they would score a touchdown. I read a little article about a guy who put $10 on a 10 parlay tight end scoring and made $140,000.
That's nice.
Not that I would ever condone gambling, but $10 is inside my realm.
Definitely. and I wish I would even have thought about it, right? I didn't even know until after probably the second game that it was tight end.
Well, they were just, that's what they start calling it when everybody was scoring. And you know, our tight end, what's his name? Laporta. He got his only second of the year. Yeah. Kelsey got his first of the year. Yeah. You know, so these guys hadn't been scoring and finally got on the scoreboard. I read another little article on my phone about a dollar bet. The guy's got 31,000 coming. He picked 11 tight ends, and he's got one playing tonight. And he could cash out for about $6,800 right now. I'd be touching it.
Yeah, I think
I might wait 10 minutes into the game. But if he goes down, that would be just terrible.
Then you don't win.
You get nothing. Because then right away, you know, the casinos are going to pull that number right off the table.
Yeah. But for a dollar,
right,
$6,800.
31 grand.
That's a lot.
I know. Yeah. I got to change the way I approach these things.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I always do it like the old football cards where I pick like 9 or 10 teams. Yeah. Straight up, but yeah, it's hard.
Same.
Whatever.
Yeah, I can't win.
It's entertainment. I'm old enough to gamble.
Yeah, 65.
That's right.
You deserve it. But no, it was a great weekend, man. We went and watched some high school football. I went to the Ypsi versus Ypsi Lincoln, and it was 28-21. Came down to the final drive, got into the 10-yard line, and then they couldn't score. Ypsi. Couldn't score.
One of them schools yours?
Ypsi. Ypsi's my alma mater. My uncle's the coach.
Okay.
So I took my son to go check him out. It was sweet. They got into a little fisticuffs in the middle of it.
Like just Michigan, huh?
Yeah,
Michigan State?
Just, you know, that neighborhood thing, that rivalry thing, it worked out. So nobody got hurt. It was nice and clean.
All right, yeah, because, I mean, even our Wyandotte Bears had a shot at pulling the game out at the end of the game. It was 31-26, and they marched the ball all the way down the field to inside the 20. Had a holding call, pushed them back, but had a couple incompletions, and quarterback got sacked on the last play of the game. It was, they were competitive. They really, I mean, they think about it, they scored 4 touchdowns. They haven't done that much all year.
Yeah.
So that they were moving the ball, and they got one of their kids back, number 23, and I want to say Williams, but he had been hurt a few games, and boy, they hand this guy the ball. He's strong and he's fast.
Gotcha.
And that was, you know, you lose a guy like that for a few games, and you're not going to compete because he's a man among boys.
It's interesting that you say that, Coach, because at the Ypsi game, there was a running back that came back for the first time because he got a concussion week 1, right? And he was wearing one of those little guardians on his head, so his helmet was a little different than everyone's. And I wonder if that makes sense, right? Like, I even went to my grandson, who's 5, playing on Sunday. All of the kids on the other team had those on. So I think it's just going to be that progression. You know what I mean? Where they're getting...
some NFL guys are wearing them.
Yep.
And they're not as shiny as the other ones. But, hey, anything you can protect your skull from shifting, because really what a concussion is your brain shifting inside of its container.
Yeah.
So anything that you can stop that thing from shifting, you know, will it? I don't know. It must. That extra layer of cushion. Yeah. It's like an extra layer of bubble wrap in a cardboard box.
Yeah. I'd love to hold one just to see how heavy they are.
I bet it is.
They gotta be light, right?
Yeah. It's got to be like bubble wrap. Yeah. So anyway, we had football scores. Wyandotte, Trenton went into Taylor, rolled them 52-0. Carlson kept their winning ways, 41-14. Woodhaven went into Edsel Ford, no contest, 48-0, I mean. And then Allen Park played the non-league game, and they lost to Redford Union. And these were our final standings.
So Carlson ended up winning the conference. They went 7-1.
Down River League champs.
Yeah, and then they won it outright because AP ended up 6-2, and Trenton and Southgate were both 6-2. So it was a logjam. Good news is you're going to have 4 teams out of Down River League that have made the playoffs, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yes, we should talk playoffs right now while we're at it. And let's start with Division I football. And a couple of local teams are going to start off with Belleville starting off. Powerhouse Belleville always makes it to Ford Field the last weekend of the game. They got to come out the gate against Ann Arbor Pioneer.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the points here, and it looks like Hudsonville has the most points out of everyone. Belleville must be the 2 seed.
It looks like it, yeah. Hudsonville's got 80-something, Belleville 78. The next team is ironic. My grandson Colin's game was at Detroit Catholic Central. That's where the championship was. And talking about a beautiful facility,
Oh,
Coach.
yeah?
It's a beautiful facility. So that team looks good. Detroit Catholic Central will go up against those tough kids from Livonia Stevenson.
Then you got Detroit Cass Tech taking on Sterling Heights Stevenson. I think that's going to be a battle, even though Cass Tech is solid.
Yeah, and the news for Cass Tech is they actually won the city last week against Martin Luther King, who they had lost to 2 weeks previous in the regular season, but their freshman starting quarterback is back.
Oh.
So I hear he's the one to watch out for. So
Gotcha.
Then we got Fortson going up against Dearborn.
That's interesting that they're paired together like that, but I guess the point system doesn't pull any favorites.
No.
So I wonder, somebody from Dearborn's going to move on to play Cass Tech, possibly.
Yeah, okay.
And in Division II, looks like the number 1 seed in Division II is Muskegon Mona Shores. And I believe, no, Dexter had more points. I see Dexter with more points. I don't know. They don't have them seated on here very well. Got this all off of the Michigan High School Athletic Association website.
Well, the Downriver champs are in the Division II. Gibraltar Carlson to go up against Temperance Bedford.
That's going to be a good battle, I think.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Carlson. Bedford always got under my skin. Anyway.
And you know what? We're pulling for Krolak's kid.
Yeah.
We want Krolak's kid to have success.
That's right. And then it looks like Allen Park will play Livonia Franklin. The winner of that will actually get a chance to play against the winner of Carlson and Temperance Bedford.
Yeah, that's interesting that you play all year, and then, Carlson just walked into Allen Park and rolled them 42-0. And if Allen Park's successful in that game and Carlson's successful, they're going to feel pretty good going into that game. But you could get sleepy because you just slapped them.
You better be.
And oh man,
you better keep it right. You better keep your mind on the next opponent. So that's pretty much it, though, for Division II, huh?
Yeah, there's only a couple local teams. In Division III, though, we've got 4 of our local teams. Okay. Southgate almost gave away the game to the Bears. I mean, the Bears were marching, and they were only down 5. But that wins them the luxury of playing River Rouge.
Yeah.
And River Rouge, what they play that out-of-state schedule and all that other stuff, and they've only got 48 points on this system, and Southgate's got 63. But, man, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a tough draw.
That's a tough draw.
Because Rouge is going to be ready, and it doesn't say where they're playing, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be determined soon. You know what? I wonder, is it at one of those teams are going to be at home, I wonder. But you know what, though, Coach? The other thing I'm thinking about that point system, just based on those guys coming from out of state to play, maybe you don't get as many points for a team that's not rated in the state of Michigan and things of that nature.
Could be.
That's got to be something.
Because their last game was against a Canadian team,
correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they play with 12 guys? We don't know.
Yeah.
But Trenton plays Riverview. So the Pirates get a tough draw against Trenton, and vice versa for Trenton. They get a tough draw.
Yeah, that triple option that Riverview runs, and Trenton likes to run the ball. That could be a four or five possession game.
Yeah. 3 yards in the cloud of dust.
You may not get to see the ball for 10 minutes once you give it up. But and the curious thing is that all those downriver teams will meet in the next round.
Yeah.
So Trenton and Riverview are going to play either Southgate or River Rouge.
It gives me a lot of just like baseball where you go into districts or something, so you're just playing those kids in your conference or around your school first, because then the next round they're actually calling it the district finals, and then they're calling it regionals. So it must be similar to like how when we play baseball.
Yeah, and right below that in District 2, you got Martin Luther King playing Warren Fitzgerald.
And Fitzgerald, I believe, was the non-league game for a couple teams.
Were they?
Woodhaven ended up forfeiting. Remember when we saw that?
Yeah.
So, no, good luck to them.
Now, in Division 4, we've just got a couple local teams, and that's Dearborn Divine Child and Redford Union. They're not playing each other, but they're going to, if they both win, they're going to play each other.
Yeah.
There's not much else in that Division 4. Most of the other teams seem to be a little bit north of us and west of us.
The good news or the bad news for Redford Union is they will not advance. They're going to lose to Harper Woods.
They're playing Harper Woods?
Yeah, they're going to lose that game, but then Divine Child maybe will win, and then they'll get in. But that's a tough draw for Redford Union as well.
Okay. In Division 5 football, we got, looks like about 6 local teams. Starting with Hazel Park playing St. Clair Shores South Lake. And then a competition game here, Detroit Lincoln King against Romulus.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good battle.
I think that'll be decent. I never heard of Detroit Lincoln King. That's a pretty unique name.
Romulus was solid, and they've got 36 points. You know, they're the lesser of the draw that they're in. I mean, once you're in, anything can happen, correct?
That's right. That's all you got to do is get there. Give me a ticket. And then you got Flat Rock going up against Detroit Denby Tars. I like Flat Rock in that game.
They've been solid.
Yeah.
They've been solid all season.
Yeah, they've been consistent, that's for sure. And then the poacher of the kids from Romulus
Nicely put, sir.
is the Romulus Summit Academy North. And they'll go up against Detroit Voyer College Prep.
Now, the Summit Academy North, that's what we discussed, is that they must get a lot of the Romulus kids, because I think when those two played, I believe Summit Academy beat them.
Yeah, Summit's really good. They've been good for the last few years, and I think it has a lot to do with them
handpicking your kids.
Yeah, give a kid an option.
School of choice. That's ruined a lot of programs, School of choice. It's like no one would play in Lincoln Park for the longest time. They just go to Allen Park. It's right next door.
Right.
You know,
especially if they already got tradition and they're going to be good. I want to play for a good team, Mom. I don't want to play.
And you could be, you know, it all starts in the Little League football section where you could be a Little League kid from Lincoln Park. They always gave residents first crack, but then any openings they would take kids, and a lot of Lincoln Park kids played in the Allen Park Little League football program.
Okay.
So they would just stay right there and go to school. You know.
Makes sense.
Division 6, another 6 local teams from Dearborn and Detroit. You got Dearborn Heights Robichaud has to play Jackson Lumen Christie, and you've got Dearborn Advanced Tech Academy has to play Ida.
Yeah, Ida, that's a great name.
Yeah, my daughter played softball for Ida for a half minute there. Too much driving for her.
It's a nice ride, yeah. We got Detroit Edison versus Detroit Central. Edison's been good for the last few years. Pretty sure they're going to put it on Central. And then you got Detroit Pershing versus Detroit Old Redford. I don't have any information about either one of those teams.
No?
No.
Fair enough. And then there's one last football in Division 8. It is, they're playing each other, and it's a shame. Riverview Gabriel Richard's playing Allen Park Cabrini.
Yeah.
And Richard's got double the points, so their seeding's a lot higher. I'm going to say Gabriel Richard. They move on.
I think you're right. And it'd be interesting to see how they calculate those points because, they went to automatic 6 wins get you into the playoffs, but you could have 5 wins depending on how many teams from your division actually qualified.
Gotcha.
So I bet you they're a 5-win team. That's why they're 24 points.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. I say we go volleyball.
Volleyball.
The seedings, they had a big tournament last weekend, but the seedings have been determined in the 4 divisions, Division 1, 2, 3, and 4 for volleyball. And first up on November 12th, that means in about 2 weeks, we're going to start up volleyball, and it's going to be Dearborn playing Temperance Bedford out the gate. Dearborn was a pretty solid unit this year.
Sure.
Not bad at all.
Nope. And then you're going to have Ypsi Lincoln play Allen Park.
And the winners of those 2 will move on and play each other. The other one local that I just highlighted for the fun of it was Westland John Glenn. They're going to take care of Grosse Pointe South. And, that's the only teams in Division 1 from our area that made it through to the finals.
Wow.
Or at least to the regional semifinals. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, 2 days later, then they're going to move right along. The champion will be crowned November 23rd.
Right before Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah, right before Thanksgiving.
They usually end up at, Michigan State or something.
I think so. Some big-time place they'll play.
Division 2?
You got Tecumseh going up against Flat Rock.
Solid team, Flat Rock, I believe.
I think Flat Rock's going to do pretty good. And then you got Chelsea going up against
Wixom St. Catherine.
There it is. Yeah.
Sorry about the minuscule.
No, it's cool. I just had that eye surgery, so no. Go ahead.
You just need that eye surgery.
Yep. And then you got Henry Ford going against Detroit Southeastern.
Know anything about Southeastern?
They're not that good. They're not that good in volleyball. I'm sorry.
Then we got an interesting setup here. It says Dearborn Divine Child is playing, and then it says host needed. So did they get a bye? Because they're hosting? Because that's where the game's being played. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's probably TBA, right? To be determined. It's got to be to be announced or something. Yeah.
Those are the only Division II teams from the area. They're not even in our league. None of the teams in our league made it through to Division II, which is a shame.
That's right.
But they ends up knocking everybody out in the pre-districts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Plymouth Christian Academy is going up against Detroit Northwestern. And then you got
Ottawa Lake. What is that?
White Fort?
White Fort, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to play up against Riverview Gabriel Richard.
Division 3.
There it is. That's D3.
Those games will be at Plymouth Christian Academy.
Okay.
That's just that. And then the only team representing Downriver in Division 4, which a solid team, made it to the Final 8 last year, Final 4 the year before. That is Allen Park Intercity Baptist.
Let's go. Yeah.
And they have to take on, right out the gate, they got to take on Clarkston Everest, which that's Clarkston are going to be out by Pine Knob. Is that what we're thinking?
I think so.
Games in Lansing Christian. So
we got a lot of playoff action going on.
it's going to kick off. That's a couple weeks away, but the football's this weekend.
Yeah.
Which game you going to watch football this weekend?
I keep telling myself that I want to go see this Bryce Underwood kid play, but
Belleville?
I would love to go see him play. I heard that Michigan is riling up every booster in the past and trying to get about $5 million to give that kid to come to Michigan next year.
Michigan's got $5 million.
Easily.
They've got $1 billion in their trust the last time I checked.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, and the kid will, it depends. I don't know if they're ever going to cap that, because these schools, you know who else has got a lot of money? Alabama.
Sure.
LSU.
Yeah.
Teams where.
Yeah, and LSU has already offered him.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think that's the part that's going to change. I've been seeing, it was a coach from the University of Virginia, Bennett. I think it's Tony Bennett. His dad was Dick Bennett coach as well. But long story short, he ended up quitting last week, and he was just like, he can't handle the portal. He doesn't like the NIL stuff. He's old school.
No, and that's why
he wants to get
Saban
away
quit.
from it.
That's exactly why Saban quit. Saban quit because he was like, we've talked about this. He sat there and he would interview these. Saban's wife would be talking to the parents and saying, "Don't worry, I'm going to treat them like my kids." And it turned into, "Thank you for taking care of our son," to, "What's in it for us?" Yeah. What's in it for us? Yeah. What do we got there, sir? What's in it for us? Yeah. And that's when they decided. He said, "I'm getting out," and he got out.
They got to do some type of collective bargaining. It's got to be. It's going to have to be organized how you get the money, right? It's got to be. It's got to be some way.
But they're paying these football players. But there's also, there's volleyball players making money. You ever watch a volleyball match on Big Ten Network and all that for the college kids? Them girls are all dialed up because their social media. They want that. They have full makeup and earrings and stuff playing volleyball.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah. We had some golf results last week. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, we're doing good. Division I, we did have a couple teams locally qualify. That was Brownstown, Woodhaven, and Detroit Cass Tech. Unfortunately, of the 18 teams that got in, they finished 17th and 18th, and didn't have any. Buddy finished in the individual top 10, but we'll give a shout out to Alina Lai of Okemos. She was shot 146 for 2 days, 73-73, and she is your Division I golf champion, which, she was 4 shots ahead of the second place girl from Romeo. But these girls, I guarantee,
what did she shoot, Coach?
73-73, 1 over par twice.
Nice.
It's at the very top here.
Okay, gotcha.
But for Brownstown, their best player was Aiden Rushlow, a senior, and she shot 88-88. I mean, not bad. She didn't finish. She was, what was she, 176? Yeah, top 15. She was 14 shots out of finishing top 10. And I'm sure when she looks at her round, she could find 14 shots over 2 days. That's one poor chip. That's one spray and iron. You can find those anywhere.
I'm looking at the Cass Tech team because those 2 Evans kids are both phenomenal softball players.
Oh, really?
The Kaylin Evans is a freshman.
Yes.
And her sister is Sydney is a senior. Kaylin has a twin, so they're coming like legitimately in softball. They're pitcher, catcher, shortstop. You know what I mean? Like they're really good. And I heard they play golf, so it's interesting that they shot 103, 100, and 100.
Right. But so what? They probably don't work on the golf as much as they work on the softball.
And I know that Kaylin Evans' girl was also playing volleyball, so it's interesting that she did get any time to golf. So
interesting. Yeah, she probably doesn't put a lot of work in. Division II. 3 teams locally: Gibraltar Carlson, Dearborn Divine Child, and Allen Park. They finished 3, 4, I think it was 13, 15, and 16. That looks about right.
Yeah.
Best score for Allen Park was 200. Ella Gulametti, she's a 10th grader, shot 100 both days. Divine Child, what do we got here?
I got it.
Sophie Harris.
Yeah, Sophia Harris. She shot a 95 and got better on the second one with an 88.
Better.
Yeah. And then you also had
your Gibraltar team.
Gibraltar, they had a kid, Adria Kansaka. She had an 89 and a 102. So.
And in the top 15, we did have some local kids finish in the top 15. Brooklyn Burke from New Boston, Huron. There were some individual qualifiers that your team didn't make it in. So, last week when they did 2 weeks ago when they did the qualifying, you had your team made it, and then the top 8 girls, because my bowling girl, Megan Murray, missed by a shot.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn Burke, 104.92, so she shot 196 for the 2 days. Finished, looks like 11th or something. And the other one, Delaney Gardzecki, a 9th grader from Riverview, rounded out the field there from the individual qualifiers. Good for her.
And like you said, I think we got to get a shout out to Avery Manning, who shot a 69 and a 72 for Dexter. Ooh. So she's playing that game.
Yeah, I wonder what grade she's in. It doesn't show up there. If Dexter is the Dexter team on here, let me see real quick. Yeah, there it is. She's an 11th grader.
Okay.
11th grader. And Farmington Hills Mercy, they won the team results. Division I, Northville. I didn't mention that. So anyway, Division III, last thing here, the only local team is Detroit Country Day. They finished second.
Yeah.
They finished second, and the Lillian O'Grady from Grand Rapids Christian was the low qualifier, 75-70.
It's good shots.
Yeah, those are scores I dream of. I can shoot 75 on the front nine, piece of cake. I can break 70 on the front nine. Real quick, we got some cross-country stuff. Let's knock this stuff out while they try to get rid of us.
Yeah.
3 teams automatically qualify for the state finals. Teams must have at least 5 runners finish the race. Any individual placing inside the top 15 and not already part of a team will also advance to this coming week's finals. Woodhaven, on the girls' side, finished in 3rd. More power to them.
Saline and Ann Arbor Pioneer finished 1st and 2nd in both boys and girls. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Woodhaven had 3 of 7 individual qualifiers on the boys' side. Pierce Scheffler, Alex Vasquez, and Vincent Jones. Roosevelt.
So you got one. We got one. What's her name? Eleanor Grant. Eleanor Grant, who is making her 3rd straight trip to the finals after placing 16th. With a time of 20 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And finishing right behind her was Allen Park's Adrian Zub, sophomore, and Per Carlson, freshman, Giada Foriito and Livia Butcher. They're local girls going to the state finals in Division I.
Interesting factoid, quick, and I know we got less than a minute.
That's right. I'll just shut the camera off.
Yeah. Charlie McKay out of Woodhaven was #1 in the girls' Division I, but she was one of 5 freshmen to place in the top 6.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Very cool. Anyway, as we wrap up, we had some Groseville had 3 on the boys' side that qualified in Division III. We got a 4th place individual finish from Flat Rock on the girls' side, Megan Wolkers.
Yep.
And
that was Wolker's 4th time.
Oh, yeah?
4th straight.
Nice. All right, so as we wrap up, we'll have more results from everybody, the football next week. It'll get knocked down into halves. We'll know who's playing who.
That's right.
And until we get to Thanksgiving Day. I'm Marty Chinesky. That's Ken Brown. Hi, Mom. Thanks for all the birthday wishes, everybody on Facebook that gave me a nice birthday wish.
That's good.
Because Facebook told them to.
Trick or treat, yeah. Trick or treat.
Yeah, that's right. Our little Halloween guy today. I'm wearing a costume of an old man.
Me too.
And thanks for watching. We will catch everyone next week with more local sports information.